I'm a Sri Lankan, born in 1986. My childhood was quite traumatic and stressful due to a 30 years of brutal ethnic war. My dad, who was an engineer, most of his life worked abroad. My mom, along with the support of family members and friends, raised me and my siblings. As a child, I grew up in few different parts of Sri Lanka due to internal displacements caused by the war. Even during the challenging times caused by the war and displacements, my family was always connected to our extended families, relatives, community, and land, and embraced the culture and traditions. I got married and moved to Canada in 2014. Moving to and settling down in a new country was overwhelming, and that's when, for the very first time, I started feeling disconnected from my people, culture, language, religion, and tradition. Migrating to a new country opened to a new way of life, learning and incorporating new culture into my life and adapting to a new lifestyle. However, deep down, there was something always missing. My first child was born in 2014 and the second one was born in 2018. As a mom, I felt the bareness of not having the village that was supposed to help me raise my children, teach them our culture, traditions, and values. That's when I realized the importance of my role as a mom in passing my culture to my children without my people and land. As immigrants, we face many challenges to ensure a healthy and peaceful social life. Starting a completely new life and settling down take a lot of hard work, effort, and courage. Me and my husband must make sure that our shifts at work do not clash one another's so that we do not need to put our children in a daycare. And that will save you money. Money management is crucial as we need to pay our bills, feed our family, and also support our families back home. Social isolation, lack of support, mental health concerns are just a few of many struggles we face as immigrants. Even though life is a struggle as a newcomer to this Western land, I personally feel that it is important to impart and share our culture and traditions with our children, and it is more so when we live away, far away from our families and native land. Growing up in my own land, cultural learning and practicing the traditions were part of our upbringing and way of life. However, practicing our culture, observing our special religious days and festivals, and sharing the knowledge with our children are challenging when we live in a Western country. When we live away from our families, children can only learn the cultural knowledge through us and the few families and friends within our cultural network. So, we hold a huge responsibility as parents to allow our children to experience the culture in different ways. As I study the importance of passing on the cultural knowledge to my children, I was keen to revisit my memories of celebrating our traditions, as it was not easy with our hectic schedules, busyness of life, and simply because of the cultural differences in the Western land. Celebrating annual festivals, holding ritual ceremonies, talking to children in our language, making cultural food, and connecting with families and friends are all have been in my practice. Our last visit to Sri Lanka in 2019 was a great opportunity for my children to connect with my country and learn our culture and traditions. Revisiting my life events confirms that incorporating cultural ways of living in day-to-day life and building meaningful relationships with relatives and community are great ways to help my children learn my culture. Why is it important to me to share the culture and the traditional knowledge with my children? Because it allows them to understand their roots and identity, even though their own cultural identities are being established in the country of their births. Understanding where they come from can help them to build a strong self-identity and embrace their individuality. It does not matter where I am in the world. It is always important for me to connect to my roots, the food that I grew up with, the language I always treasure, my culture, my traditions, my people, and my land. By treasuring and embracing my culture, I will allow my children to experience it in beautiful, different ways.